lovely friends, welcome to Fibertown. This is episode 241. It's the 13th of March 2020. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm so glad you're here. So I'm hoping to keep this episode short, but I do have a lot to share with you. So let me just fill you in on what's going on, what I have on my table here. A quick introduction with a podcast recommendation. 1FO, some works in progress, spinning, weaving, and acquisitions, and sewing at the end if you're interested. I've been sewing a lot and I have more sewing plans. So let's start off with that podcast recommendation. Meadow Sweet Farms is a newish podcast. I think she has 3, maybe 4 episodes. I haven't watched the most recent one, but the one before that I watched, and she has got a lot of interesting things to say that you're not going to hear in a lot of other podcasts. And I'm blanking on her first name. She is a textile professor and historian. I believe I'm correct in saying that. She has a very calm manner, lovely person, and then just dropping wisdom and information that I didn't know I wanted to know. But I found very interesting just about historical garments, and I think there was a quilt in the episode I watched. It was over a month ago, and I meant to mention her on my last episode, but there was so much going on that it slipped my mind. So Meadow Sweet Farms is a definite recommendation. You should go and watch it for sure. It's on YouTube, easy to find, and I believe she's in Pennsylvania, maybe near West Virginia. So yeah, I'm having a little iced tea in my Bluebird of Happiness mug. I got this at last year's Maryland Sheep and Wool. I don't know if I'll be going, or if there will be a Maryland Sheep and Wool this year. I kind of doubt it at this point. Thankfully, I have 5.5 fleeces that I could be working on, and lots of wool. I mean, this is a good reason to have a wool stash, and I certainly do. And I'm going to show you more of it today. First, though, I do have a finished object. It is, are you guys doing the Woolly Thistle mitten along? This was my 2019. I cast it on in 2019, and this is my 2020. Somewhat smaller, a little shorter. There you go. That's about the same. They're matched up now. The 2020 mitten is definitely smaller, although I was able to stretch it somewhat in the blocking, but it's still maybe 5 rows shorter and maybe 3 stitches narrower. So these are the Justin Loyal mitts by Cake and Vikings. There's the H for Hufflepuff. I just really love the thumb gusset. It's a good look. I love knitting this palm. I wouldn't be opposed to a mitten, just the whole thing in this kind of stitch. It's a lot of fun to make. So this hand, the badger looks pretty good. Badger is the symbol of Hufflepuff, which is my Hogwarts house. And then this one, I really need to go back. Look, I need to go back and duplicate stitch. I tried to tighten some floats, and I just don't know what went wrong. This was the most recent one I knit. It's not a deal breaker, but I think I'm gonna try to duplicate stitch with this dark yarn, which was from Biche et Bûche, Scottish lamb's wool from a French company. And then this mustardy gold is Jameson and Smith. So those are my Justin Loyal mitts. They're lovely. And they're done, except I'll probably do some duplicate stitching. So works in progress. Where to start? Well, I have a sock in my purse, and it's maybe 20 rows farther along in the past month. Don't know why I can't knit socks these days. I just cannot be arsed. So the other thing I do have on the needles is my from my garden Clen Forest sweater, which started life as a new leaf. This is all tangled. A new leaf sweater by Jennifer Steingass. Finished the body. Oops, that's the back. All naturally dyed from a Clen Forest fleece that was white. I think I mentioned all of the dye materials in my last episode, so I won't reiterate that. I don't know. It's got some issues. The yoke, because it's garter stitch, is quite bigger. It's a lot bigger. It might look fine once it's all said and done. I don't know, but I feel like the body does not have as much ease as I would like, and the yoke has too much. So I don't know. I got to the first sleeve and the sleeve is boring me. So I cast on another sweater. So we'll say goodbye to that one for now. I really like the Clen Forest yarn, however. Now, this other sweater I cast on to alleviate my boredom is another Jen Steingass. Really, that one is not a Jen Steingass. It just started life as a Jen Steingass, and I changed everything else. So this one is being knit to pattern. It's the Mid Coast, and this is a day's work. So I have a tubular cast on, and I have the short rows done, and then I have most of the increases. I think I've done all the yoke increases actually. She does German short rows, which I always have to look up, even though it's very simple. And then she does this invisible increase, which I do like. I did it on the other sweater as well, and it didn't look great in my hand spun, which was thick and thin, but in this really dark yarn, I do like it. I feel like it's so bunched up, it's hard to tell. And I'm not 100% sure that this is going to work, the colors. This yarn is one of my favorites. It's De Rerum Natura, and this Ulysses base, which is sport weight. I have the Merlot as the main color, and Quartz, which is a beautiful pale pink. These yarns all are on a gray base. They're a mix of French and Portuguese sheep breeds, I think mostly merinos. And it's woolen spun, and I love the elasticity on this. I love how it wears. It's very sturdy, holds up really well. One of my favorite sweaters was knit out of this exact yarn. And I find that this particular base, the sport weight, is useful. I can use it for all sorts of gauges, really. So yeah, I really love the Merlot colorway, as I said. And then the Quartz is really not showing up. It's showing up kind of white on camera, but it's a pale pink. And I do hope it works out. The Mid Coast is meant for 3 colors, and I'm not sure what the third color will be, because it's either going to be this one, which is Goéland, or this one, Fusain, which is a charcoal colorway. Now on camera, I feel like, the gray, either of the grays will go in the middle of the motif. I really want to use this one, but I don't know what it's gonna look like contrast-wise. So I'm winging this, and it's probably a recipe for disaster. But I don't care. I don't care. I'm just going. I'm going. I'll rip back if I need to. I'm more and more okay with that these days. So, what else do I have to show you? I think that's it for knitting projects. So let's move along to spinning and weaving. So let me show you what I have taken off my loom. This is a scrap natural neutrals leftover project. So I have an Ashford rigid heddle, a 32-inch rigid heddle loom, and I don't know, it was economical as far as looms go. but there are plastic ties for the apron beam and they are not holding up. So this particular project was really rough going in the beginning because some of those ties were not functioning well. And having a stable warp is everything. And that's just, I got extras, but I'm like, why couldn't they just have had some sort of sturdy string ties, not plastic. That's just something to be aware of if you get an Ashford loom that is like this. Anyway, I do love how it has come out. I have washed it on my hand wash cycle in the washing machine, and then it's been it's a little bit wrinkled, but isn't that great? I am super enjoying it. It's a lot of hand spun leftovers and lots of yarns from my friend Fiber Track in here from Faroe Islands and things she's used to knit projects. So I have, just a lot of good stuff in here. It can be used to wrap around me. I do not think that I will cut this up and make anything out of it. And garment wise, it's a very effective wrap. But I think for now it'll probably sit on top of my piano. I like to put my hand woven pieces on top of my piano. The wood on my piano is completely unpresentable. It's a baby grand that used to be in a lower school music classroom. So it's got all sorts of coffee mug stains and the wood is a bit warped. So it needs something. This will look great. Well, so I've been very distracted in terms of projects, and just sometimes I'm unsettled lately and I don't know what to work on. So I've been doing a lot of fiber preparation, which I find very calming. So especially combing wool. And I've been doing a lot of swatching. And so let me show you my swatch first. This is Hilda, the Corriedale sheep. This is a swatch from a hand spun yarn. This is a 3-ply. And this Hilda is a sheep that lives on Serenity Farms in Michigan. She belongs to, she is shepherded by Carrie, my woolen mitten, who has a lovely podcast and is a lovely person and friend of mine. And so I had half of Hilda's fleece maybe 2 years ago. And oh my gosh, so velvety and lovely. And I can't wait to knit this up. I think I knit this on a 9, US 9, or maybe an 8. And it's about 3.5 to 4 stitches per inch. So I'm not sure what will happen with this, but at the time when I spun that yarn, I thought that I would weave the wool into cloth and make a coat. And just given my disaster with my Icelandic weaving garment project, I don't think I want to do that to Hilda. She's so lovely and velvety. I don't want to take the chance. My skills are not there yet. And I can't get really wide cloth either. The one thing I might consider making would be like a tamarack jacket, but I have to check and see if the sleeve would fit on this width. And I would need to full the cloth too, and I don't think I want to do that because Hilda's so velvety. Anyway, so I think Hilda is going to become a sweater. Yes. So there's a nice little swatch. I've also done some little sample skeins of a Perrindale cross fleece and a Hog Island fleece, and I've actually put them together here, which is terrible. All right. So the Perrindale, I don't know if you can see, there's one that's very shiny white. That's the Perrindale cross. And then this one is the Hog Island. It's like creamier. It's not focusing, but I've been spinning some of the Hog Island on my Moosey spindle. It's not easy to spin. It's a very short and consistent staple length. There's a little twist still in there. And it's just gonna be a wonky yarn. but that Perendale is great. It's great. So I think after Hilda, I might be processing the Perendale. Oh, sorry, not Hilda. After I finish the Coopworth fleece that I'm working on and still combing, and I combed maybe 8 nests of that last night. I did a little Instagram stories music video of me combing that fleece. So it's on my highlights if you're interested in checking it out. And I'm Fibertown with an RE there. Now, the other fleece that I have been playing with, and I'm squishing it right now, also came to me via Carrie at Serenity Farms, My Wool Mitten. I think I said My Woolen Mitten. It's not, it's My Wool Mitten. This is Prince. He is a Corriedale, right? Am I getting that right? Oh my gosh. Look at that color. Again, not focusing. This is a much prettier yarn. And you know, my camera is showing up all these white flecks, which really don't stand out to me in person. There are some little bits of white in there, but this is more what it looks like to me, to my eye, in person. So gorgeous. Now, there were a lot of second cuts in this fleece, and it was a short staple for a Corriedale and kind of tricky to spin. But I did it, and these are actually combed, which was also tricky, but satisfying as heck. So I applied this little sample, 2-ply, is that right? Or was it a 3-ply? It doesn't matter. Carrie, I got in touch with her. I was like, what was up with this? Because she was also processing, she has this, the other half. She was processing Prince's fleece and noticed the same things and talked to the shepherd that she got the fleece from, who said that he was sheared twice one year, and that was kind of the reason for the inconsistency in the staple length and the second cuts. I wonder if it's harder to shear a darker sheep, just in terms of, it's just harder to see if you have a full staple cut or if you're getting second cuts. I don't know, possibly not. Still love the color, and I wish you guys could feel this. So lovely, just really lovely. So if I can keep myself away from Prince and work on that Perendale, that would be good, because last summer I really regretted not having another white fleece to dye with things from my garden. So my woad plant right now is starting to send out seed pods, flowers, seed pods. So I'll have a new crop of woad the following year. The woad, I believe, is only good to dye with the first year, and then the second year does the seeds, and then you can start the cycle again. So yeah, that's it for spinning, weaving, swatching. Take this off. Let me just show you. Sorry, I'm wearing a wool merino top that I sewed. I love this thing. It is super cozy. It's a Mandy Boat tee from Tessuti Patterns. More tea, and then I'm going to show you something that I acquired through my aunt. So, do you have older relatives? Are they downsizing and trying to give you everything from their house? Raise your hand if you do. Okay. I had to actually say, no, I can't take that really disgusting 100-year-old fur coat that you want to give me, and that's lovely. You want to pass that along. It doesn't have the same meaning to me that it would have 2 generations ago. So, but look what I got. These are from my great-grandmother, Esther Bell, who had no problem putting knots in her yarn when she joined a new skein, I tell you. Look at this, indestructible. Smells like my grandmother's house. Crocheted, granny square, Afghan. Yeah. So I need to wash this. It's acrylic. It will last through this pandemic for sure. And look at that. Yeah. My granny, who was my great-grandmother, who lived with us for a while when I was a kid, she loved this rainbow acrylic. Oh yes, she did. looking at some of the joins now. There, actually, she kind of crocheted over that join. Yeah. And you know what else I acquired? A work in progress that she had pinned together. Safety pinned. I don't know what this is. Is it a toilet paper roll cover? Is it the beginning of a doll? There's a drawstring. Anyone have any thoughts? I mean, there was some wacky like housewares, dress up your housewares kind of crochet things. So it smacks to me of that, but I don't know for sure. Oh, what kind of cord did she do? Oh, it was just a chain. So it's a work in progress. So I took it. Gave back the fur coat and I took that. So let me show you just a few other yarn acquisitions and then we'll go into sewing. And how am I doing on time? Okay, I want to keep this under half hour. Let's see. So the Woolly Thistle is having a sale right now and oh my gosh, the Mitten Along, lots of great stuff in there. I did acquire this. I have a sweater quantity of this most excellent color of Spindrift from Jamieson's of Shetland. It is color 147 Moss, the best green. The best green. Yeah, this is moss right here. So good. So have you seen Corinne's? She's sort of plain sweater, plain raglan sweater as she did in Rauma. I'll be doing something similar with this. And I also have a green sweater quantity of 2-ply jumper weight. So I'm just feeling the green sweaters. Maybe about 5 years ago, I went through a green cardigan phase and now I'm doing green pullovers. In fact, I already made a green pullover this winter and I'm wearing a green thing. So I'm just feeling green right now. And that didn't sound right, but green sweaters. So the second thing that I have been acquiring bit by bit is the yarn for a Ralph pullover. And I'm gonna show you what this looks like. This is from the Vintage Shetland Project by Susan Crawford. This is Ralph. Yeah, I'm making that for me. Look at that. So the Ralph pullover. You know, it's also shown here on Ella Gordon. She's modeling it as well. So it's knit out of, hang on. It's knit out of, oh gosh, what is, darn it. Where's the modeling of this? I really want to show you what she looks like in it. So it's oversized and cute. I think I'm going to make the 3rd size in. I'm really enjoying oversized sweaters. Come on, where is she? All right, well, trust me, it's pretty good. The yarns I'm using, I have finally, over various sales, acquired what I'm gonna use. So there they are. Now this one is Jamieson and Smith, shade 2006. And this is Shetland Supreme jumper weight. So it's the same as 2-ply jumper weight. It's just in 50 gram skeins instead of 25 grams. Now this one is shade 08. And then we have shade 1A. And then this one, FC45. Now this one right here. Not 2-ply jumper weight. It's Spindrift, Jamieson's. This is colorway 141 Camel because the color, this color called for in the pattern is discontinued. And I tried to find its equivalent on the color card or something similar, was just not happy with the 2-ply jumper weight colors. So I believe this is going to do the trick for that Ralph sweater. And I will do the gosh, what is the ribbing called? The 2-color ribbing? I can't think of the name. The Perimeni has got me. My memory's terrible these days. Anyway, that's Ralph. I do have another sweater, another colorwork sweater, the Bressa sweater from Marie Wallen's Shetland book that I'll be knitting with my wool wenches, my friends. I'm not sure when we're casting that on, maybe around the first week of May. And it was going to be a toss-up between the Bressa and the Ralph for deciding which sweater I would be knitting this summer while I was on vacation. And we still do have plans to do this vacation. I don't know if it will actually happen, but as of now, we're just waiting to see. After a brief trip to Spain to see my mother-in-law, we were going to be spending just under 2 weeks in Edinburgh and the Outer Hebrides. Everything's booked, ferries, Airbnbs, planes. I had contacted Uist Mill, the woolen mill there on Uist, where we will be staying for a few nights to go and visit them. Doesn't look good anymore. So I will be knitting a colorwork sweater anyway this summer and dreaming of, if I'm not there, then I will be dreaming of the next time I can possibly schedule a trip like that. So that's what's going on in my woolly world. I want to talk about sewing, so if you're into that, please stick around. If not, I'll see you next time. So I have several finished things to tell you guys about. The first, I don't think I mentioned, but I did put buttons on my coat. And I got to wear it a few times. And I probably won't get to wear it again till next season. But aren't those great? I really think they came out lovely. I put 2 on this side and I put 1 sort of under the collar so that I could batten down the hatches and button the collar closed if it was really cold and windy. So that's my lovely Yates coat. And I'm really happy I made that. And it gave me a lot of good handwork skills, which I have used in some of the things I'm about to show you, including this. This is the weekend getaway top, which I made out of yarn dyed linen. And it wasn't the most successful make initially, and I might pause this and put it on to show you, but it had some really nice elements. I really liked the way the back pleat was done. It's really an elegant way to do it. You can see that top stitching down the sides, very sturdy. There it is on the inside, not going anywhere. This could use a press, obviously. And then I also have a new dart technique that is really good. Ladybird, what's her name? Lauren something. She's known for teaching jean making. Anyway, she had a little tip about sewing the dart. So, a lot of patterns or techniques will have you reduce stitch length when you get to the apex of the dart, or to the very, to the point of it. She does not. And then you leave a long tail and you knot it, So what she has you do is sew down, keeping the stitch length the same. And when you get to within 1 little half stitch length before that apex point, you lift your presser foot, you spin the thing around, and you don't really backstitch, but you go in the other direction. So that, and I don't know if I'm probably not describing it correctly, but you can find it on her Instagram. So yeah, see, so I've sewed down. The left-hand side there is the dart that I sewed, and then I got to the apex, turned the whole thing around and sewed a little bit further back. You don't need to knot anything. it's just a really stable weight. You don't have to worry about the point of it being weird. It comes out perfect. It's like a kill two birds with one stone kind of technique. Look how flat it lies. It's really, really, really effective. There we go, that's better. Yeah. So maybe I'll put it on and show you because it looks really good. Now, this has French seams except on the shoulders. I really feel like that was a bit of a letdown. I did pink them. I didn't want to serge them because I have black thread and it just felt like it would not be the best look. Might show through because this is somewhat sheer. But everywhere has gorgeous French seams except there. And if I do this again, then I will do French seams on the shoulders as well. So I did a size 10 on the top and I thought I graded to a 14 at the hips, which is what I usually do. But the hips were still, the fabric just wanted to sit on top of my hip shelf, which made me feel terrible. So I ended up cropping it. I just flipped the inside over by maybe 2¼ inches. And now it's a tiny bit cropped, but really not. I love the way it sits now. And I really thought that it was gonna be a complete failure, but it isn't. I did do some hand basting here because I feel like this is not handled quite correctly. I don't know, maybe I missed a step in the directions. I did double check, but these were flipping more to the inside, like this bit here, the facing was flipping out. So I did, with my trusty silk thread, I did do some tiny hand stitches there that are invisible on the outside, and it keeps it flat. It's like that pad stitching. It helps things roll and stay stable. I didn't pad stitch, it was just a running stitch, but it did the trick. So maybe I'll pause this and put it on. Okay, so here it is. Again, needs a press. But yeah, ooh, that looks revealing. It's not that revealing in real life, but it does show a little collarbone. It's a dropped sleeve, dropped shoulder rather, and then the sleeve is all of this. So I also made 2 pairs of pants. The first one is Lander pants out of a Ventana twill. These are damp, I just washed them. These came out great. I used this little button. The waistband is warbly. I tried to modify it to do a sway back adjustment and it came out wonky. And I may at some point get some more Ventana twill. The back looks fine, but the front, can you see that? Right, and right here especially. Just plain back pockets. Really enjoy the front pockets on this. You don't need a purse when you wear these pants. You just put your wallet and your phone in there and you go. I'm gonna make some denim. I have some non-stretch denim, some rigid denim that I think will work well, and I will work on that waistband. And I don't think I'll put belt loops, but I wanna make sure I'm starting to tuck things into pants more than I used to. I think just style is changing. Yeah, I think I want the waistband to be perfect. Generally, when I'm out and about, I have a shirt covering my waistband. It's just, I don't work in a formal setting, so it works for me. But yeah, I think there is a shift happening in terms of shirts being in rather than out. Now, the other pants I made were the Jackie trousers by Hand London, and I just buttoned the button. Here's the button. It was one of these, a pair, for 40 cents from La Petite in Lansing, Iowa. I don't know where I got this, but yeah, that's a vintage button. I have a button stash from many, many people. So I'm calling these my clown pants. They are a 1930s, well, I guess more 40s style trouser with a pleated front, and this extra piece here, which is called a, oh gosh, that pattern piece had a funny name. It was like the bearer. Yeah, this right here, the bearer, this bit. It's a funny little shape, and I used some green silk for the pockets, as well as a matching zipper. So they're just comically big, and they're horizontal plaid. So this is one of the plaids I got in Montreal this summer at that huge fabric warehouse. And it was really hard to figure out the content of these massive bolts of fabric. And I did a burn test on this fabric. It is definitely high content polyester. So once things started to go wrong with these pants, I was like, I don't care. It's stupid polyester anyway. Yeah, so I ended up taking in the side seam allowances, doing them at 1 inch rather than a 1/2 inch, I think it was. I don't think it was 5/8. But I took it in significantly. And they're supposed to be baggy, you know, because that's the style. I still don't feel good in them. I did do these, I really like the turned up cuff, and I did tacked them down on either side. The pocket is pretty nice. It's that botanically dyed and then over dyed with an iron bath silk that I didn't really ever want to wear as an accessory, so I cut it up. Made pockets. And considering this a wearable muslin, I don't know. I don't feel chic in it. So definitely, I might try it again in something plain, or even like a vertical, like a really subtle plaid with no horizontal, like a more monochromatic plaid with no horizontal element. We'll see. So that's my Jackie trousers from By Hand London, and I'm getting ready to make another By Hand London pattern, the Hannah wrap dress. So let me show you the fabric acquisitions I have. I think I'm gonna try the Hannah wrap dress out of this. This is a linen tencel blend that I got at Joann's. I went into Joann's for interfacing and came out with almost 10 yards of fabric. So I have this one, and it's got a lovely, lovely drape. And then I got this one, which is the same blend, and I'm gonna try some free range slacks just to have some really drapey summer pants. And then this one, I think this is my favorite. This is much more linen-y than the other ones. It's a linen tencel blend, and I think there's some cotton, maybe viscose, a little bit of viscose in it. It's just got the most gorgeous hand, and the stripes are vertical. They go along with selvage. I think I wanted to make a cielo top from Closet Case, but it has a piece back here that I would have to stripe match, and then the sleeves I'd have to stripe match. I don't know, I might make it into a strata top by So Liberated, which is got grown on sleeves, so I wouldn't have to worry about stripe matching. Those come together really fast. And I find myself reaching for my silk strata top quite a lot, because it's, can wear it out or in. So it's quite versatile. This is not gonna be a versatile piece. This is gonna be a statement piece, and I need to figure out, I think I'd probably wear it out. So the strata top has kind of a curved hem, a little bit high-low on the sides. So yeah, I've searched the cut edges of these, and I hope I wake up tomorrow in the mood to sew. One last thing to share with you, and that is this. This is Merchant & Mills. It's a cotton jacquard. This is the reverse side. This is pricey stuff. I got 2 yards, and I got it from Finch Knitting and Sewing Studio in Leesburg, and they sent it to me in the mail. This will be another tamarack jacket. The tamarack takes, surprisingly, not a ton of yardage. And I need to start remembering to order an extra 1/4 yard if possible. You can't really order a 1/4 yard online, but that's just good insurance against shrinkage. I'm gonna wash this on my hand wash cycle and hopefully it won't shrink too much. But you can get the outer shell of a tamarack out of 2 yards. It's a really great little pattern. And I have worn my tamarack nonstop for 2 years. So I think I need a second. I should have mentioned also, and these Jackie trousers with the hand stitching. I know when I've heard some podcasters, sewing podcasters, recommend that you use Wonder Tape when you're putting in a zipper just to stabilize it as you're going to stitch it. Can I just put in a plug? Because I've tried Wonder Tape. I don't know why people love it. Maybe I'm using it wrong. But what's just as fast and a lot easier is hand basting. Just do big fat running stitches. You can just take the stitches, like maybe do 3 or 4 before you pull the thread through. Just kind of accordion the fabric up, pull it through, do a bit more, do it a few more, and boom, you're basted. And that you have so much more control over things not shifting. So I hand basted in this. I don't think I even took out the basting stitches, they're hidden. So get yourself some like always at the ready basting thread, and I feel like it's a great idea for fixing little problems with your sewing projects. All right, guys and people, me and my new linen top. We'll see you later. Don't touch your face. I'm apparently touching my face like it's my job, and I just don't realize. I cannot keep my hand. I should watch this and see how many times I touched my face. Okay, you don't want to know about that. So enjoy your crafting. Stay healthy. Love you all, Fiber Townies. See you later.